You versus you. That's the real battle. Not the competition, not the critics, not your past. It's the voice in your head telling you to slow down, take it easy, give up. Every morning when you wake up, that version of you is waiting. The one who wants comfort, who wants shortcuts, who wants to stay safe. And if you don't get up with a mission, with fire, with purpose, that version of you wins. This ain't about motivation, because motivation fades. This is about building a savage mindset that doesn't negotiate with weakness. It's about deciding every single day that you will outwork, outlast, and outgrind the old version of yourself. I was 297 pounds, spraying for cockroaches at night, fat, broke, depressed, invisible. I'd come home, look in the mirror, and hate the man staring back at me. Not because of the way I looked, but because of who I'd become. A liar, a coward, a man full of excuses. I kept telling myself, you've had a hard life. You've been through hell. You deserve to rest. But one night, I stopped lying. I stood in front of that mirror and I told myself the truth. You're fat because you eat like shit. You're weak because you quit on everything. You're broke because you don't do a damn thing to change. That mirror, that's where it starts. That's where you meet your real self, the one hiding behind lies and comfort. And I made a promise right there. I'm gonna kill this version of me and become something no one can stop. Not for applause, not for followers, but because I refuse to die as that man. Every day since, I've faced that mirror. And every day I've gone to war with the man who used to live there. Comfort is the biggest lie you've ever been sold. It tells you you're okay where you are. It whispers, rest a little longer, you deserve it. That voice is your enemy. Comfort wants you soft, weak, numb. It wants you watching Netflix while your dreams rot in the back of your mind. It wants you hitting snooze when you should be hitting the pavement. The truth is, nothing good comes from comfort. You don't grow when it's easy, you grow when it hurts. You want to be unstoppable. Step into discomfort on purpose. Wake up when it's dark. Train when you're tired. Show up when you feel broken. That's where confidence is built, in pain, in repetition, in silence. Most people don't even know how to suffer anymore. The second it gets hard, they quit. They treat pain like it's the enemy. But pain is the fucking key. Pain is the doorway to growth. You don't get stronger by avoiding the hurt. You get stronger by embracing it. When your mind says this is too much, and you keep going anyway, that's where greatness begins. Comfort builds nothing. Pain builds warriors. I'm gonna give you 6 steps to win the war against yourself. Number 1, you wanna grow? Then you need to stop using your story as a damn shield. Yeah, maybe you had it rough. I did too. Abused, bullied, broken, fat, invisible. I've lived it all. But here's the truth. Most people run from your pain doesn't make you special. Your response to it does. Everyone's been through hell in one way or another. And the people who rise above, they don't sit there crying about how unfair life is. They use the fire to fuel the fight. Excuses are easy. Excuses are seductive. Excuses whisper in your ear and tell you you've earned a break. You've been through too much. Take it slow. But every time you listen, you give up your power. You hand it over to weakness. Excuses are just fancy lies, dressed up as logic. They're just permission slips to stay soft. So you want to change. Kill the damn excuses. Burn them down to ash. Stop defending your limitations and start breaking them. No one's coming to save you. You either take full ownership of your life or you stay exactly where you are. Step 2, set the standard. You want to change your life? Then raise your fucking standard. Not when it's convenient. Not when it's easy. Every single day. See, most people live based on how they feel. If they feel tired, they rest. If they feel overwhelmed, they quit. If they don't feel motivated, they do nothing. That's why they stay average. But you're not them. If you want to be uncommon amongst the uncommon, then you need to stop being emotional about your work ethic. Your standard has to be built like a machine. Locked in, automatic, non-negotiable. Back when I was 297 pounds, spraying for cockroaches, hiding from the mirror, I had 0 standards. I showed up late, I skipped workouts, I lied to myself every day, and one night, I finally cracked. I saw a Navy SEAL documentary on TV, and it wrecked me. Not because I was inspired, but because I realized how far I'd let myself fall. I didn't even recognize the man I had become. That's the night I said no more. No more weak decisions. No more victim mindset. I set the standard that night, and I never looked back. You want to build confidence? You want to earn respect? Then you better start acting like the man you say you want to become. When no one's watching, when the alarm clock rings at 4 a.m., when it's cold, when you're tired, when it hurts, your standard needs to show up anyway. No one's coming to check on you. No one's going to beg you to rise. That's on you. Set the damn standard and don't ever drop it for anyone. Step 3, do the work daily. If you want change, then stop chasing motivation and start worshiping consistency. Discipline ain't sexy. It doesn't come with applause, likes, or trophies. It shows up in the dark and the cold when no one's watching, and it does the damn work anyway. Every single day. There were mornings I woke up and my legs wouldn't move. After that first 100-mile ultramarathon, I had broken bones in my feet, piss in my blood, and muscle tearing off the bone. And yet, I still got up the next day and did something. Why? Because I wasn't doing it for Instagram. I was doing it to win the war against myself. You think greatness comes from one big moment? Nah, it comes from showing up when no one claps, when no one cares, when your mind screams stop and your soul answers try me. Most people do the work when it's easy. Winners do the work regardless. They train when they're broken, study when they're exhausted, stay sharp when life gets loud. This is the grind the world doesn't see. No shortcuts, no hacks, no days off. Just you, the work, and a choice every single day. You either keep the promise you made to yourself, or you become just another person who talks big and folds when it's hard. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It just asks one thing: did you show up today or not? Step 4, embrace the suck. You want strength? Then you gotta go where it hurts. That's the truth no one wants to hear. Growth doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the cold, in the dark, in the silence of suffering when no one gives a damn about your pain but you. You think I wanted to run on shattered legs? You think I enjoyed dragging my 297-pound body across the gym floor when I couldn't do a single pull-up? Hell no, it sucked. But I kept showing up, not because I loved it, but because I knew that pain was the process. Most people run from discomfort like it's fire, but warriors, they run toward it because they know that's where the transformation happens. Suffering is a mirror. It shows you exactly who you are. When you're tired, broken, hurting, you can't lie anymore. The real you shows up. And if you're willing to stand in that fire long enough, you get to build something powerful from the ashes. You don't rise by avoiding the suck. You rise by walking straight into it and saying, I'm still here. Let's go. So don't wish for it to be easier. Wish to become harder. Because if it's hurting, if it's burning, if it's breaking you down, good. That means it's working. Embrace the suck. That's where warriors are built. Step 5, rebuild your identity. You are not your past. You are not your pain, your failures, your mistakes. Unless you choose to be the man you were. That version of you died the moment you said, enough. You see, people talk about finding themselves, but that's not how this works. You don't find yourself, you build yourself. Brick by brick, rep by rep, but day by brutal day. You create the version of you that doesn't fold, doesn't break, doesn't quit. So I started building someone new. One pull-up at a time, 1 mile at a time, one broken, bloody, lonely, uncomfortable step at a time. You want to be a savage? You want to be the person they remember, not the one they forget? Then you've got to earn your identity. Not with words, with action. Not once, but every single day. Your habits rewrite your story. Your discipline defines your destiny. And your mindset, that's your true name. So stop talking about who you used to be and start proving who you are becoming. Because in this war, it's not about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that the old you is dead. And what stands in his place is a warrior built by pain, purpose, and relentless fucking work. Step 6, repeat forever. There's no finish line, because the moment you think you're done, the weak version of you wakes back up and he's been starving, waiting, plotting, ready to drag you back to comfort, back to excuses, back to average. So what do? You keep showing up. You keep leading on the battlefield of self-discipline every single day. This fight, it's not once a year. It's not until you hit your goal weight or make 6 figures. It's forever. When you wake up sore, you go anyway. When no one believes in you, you bet on yourself anyway. When your legs are shaking, your lungs are on fire, and your mind says quit, you look that voice in the face and say, not today, because you've built a standard, and that standard doesn't disappear when it's raining. It doesn't vanish because you feel burnout. It holds the line. Always. I've been in rooms where no one claps. I've crossed finish lines with no one watching. But you know what? That's where the real ones live. Not for applause, not for validation, but for the war they're fighting inside. You versus you, every morning, every rep, every mile, every hard conversation, every time life punches you in the face and you spit blood and whisper that all you got. Because in the end, there's no final boss. The only enemy left is the one in the mirror. So lace up, lock in, and get ready to fight him forever.